some challenges. Old or new marketing. In the UK, we've confused the two. We actually use increasingly new marketing to try and meet old audiences. It doesn't work. We should rethink what we're doing. Think about some of the issues that will exist within your market, which currently exist in the UK market. All of these are really important. The most important is the second one. Are we going to grow by volume or by value? The latter is the way forward, because markets are already saturated. Think about your donors and your supporters. Think about some of the drivers that they have. These are ones that are particularly important in the UK. And think about the different tactical choices that I have as a fundraiser. And these are just channels. People don't give in the main to channels. They consume channels. They're consumers. They're charity consumers when they go to an event, or they run up a mountain, or throw themselves off something else. Think about communication. Our sector is distinctive. It's not unique, it's distinctive, because when I make a donation, I'm normally not present at the point of consumption. So most donors are not present at the point of consumption. So for us, and this is where the big charities do very well, for us, marketing communications are the most important thing, because it's the communication that squares the circle. I need to finish. Here's some good examples. Brilliant piece of fundraising in the Philippines, simply by putting a nudge, a prompt, a tactical prompt on a collecting box. This increased giving by 1,000%. Not surprising, because the average gift in a collecting box is just 20 UK pence. Here, people are putting in, and that's what people did. Here's another very quick example. Really good targeting. You won't know this person. He's a very famous UK comedian. He died of prostate cancer. And before he died, his gift was to enable the charity to run this campaign to give a legacy after he died. Really, really clever piece of creative treatment, reflecting the values of the organization. Lady from UNICEF, this you will like, because this is brilliant fundraising. By the way, none of this costs money. It doesn't cost money. It's just about being creative, thinking about your donor, supporter. Here I am, I'm in the supermarket, children of Kashmir are freezing, so where is the fundraising ask? It's in the freezer cabinet, in the supermarket. What a brilliant idea. Embeds the values, the cause, the need, immediately. Here's my favorite. This was created by my colleagues in Canada for fundraisers. They were having a reception to find more fundraisers to become members. So what they did was they dropped money on the floor. And on the back of the money it says, apparently you have a knack for finding money. Interested in a career in fundraising? Let's talk. That doesn't cost money. It's just about being creative and understanding your audience. So, try and make sure your fundraising operates on a level playing field. This is the most important slide, and then I will finish. I'm sorry I've gone on too long. Because here, you see, it took me ages to write this slide. You need to do something similar for you, would be my argument. If you want to go past a transaction, only if, you need all of this. Otherwise, you just need this. These are different ways of finding different folks. And it reflects their motivations. It might be from events. By the way, the most effective way to find folks is for me to ask you to give me some money, and then ask you to go and ask your mate to give some money as well. That's the most effective way. The only reason we do direct mail or telephone is because we can't do that with everybody. It's too expensive. Yeah? So you want to think about doing some of that, if you can. And direct marketing. And internet fundraising, it is important, but it is not the saviour of the world. It works in very specific instances, particularly emergencies. But also, if you say you're going to save the world for £2, which we do, don't then come back to me 6 weeks later and ask me to give £15. You said it was £2, I did that. What are you talking about? That's what we've done. Be careful. And you see, as you move this way, so you make more money from fewer people in a more cost-effective way. But you spend more time with them. Why? Because they want you to spend more time with them. Because that's proper relationship fundraising. So, fine, I'll get to this slide. You can read this stuff yourself, just because they liked it. This is the real, Andre and Lydia liked it. This is the real problem with UK fundraising. We've lost our sense of direction. I will finish with one very quick story, if I may. A number of years ago, Paris and I, remember this story, cost no money. Paris was about 10 or 12. We decided to go out for the afternoon. We went to the zoo in Bristol, near where I live. So Paris and Stephen go into the zoo, we go into the zoo, and as we go into the zoo, I pay £10 for me and £5 for Paris. And as we go into the zoo, which is a charity, a lady comes up and says, hello, to Paris, not interested in me. Who are you? She's quite precocious. I'm Paris. And Paris, why have you come to the zoo? I love Pingu, the penguin. And I want to see the penguins. That's fantastic. So she gave Paris a whole load of stuff, tangible benefit, a little map. She gave her a pen. She gave her some posters. And most importantly, she gave her a cardboard baseball cap. And on the baseball cap, she put a red dot. And she said to me, Daddy, here's the zoo. At 2 o'clock, we are feeding the penguins. They are there. Make sure you're there. Now, this nearly went very badly wrong. A very famous professor of marketing a long time ago, you should do this with all of your fundraising products, if you haven't done it already, because it moves you from description to analysis. Came up with the 3 elements of any product. If you haven't got these 3 elements, you haven't got a product. It's probably a channel. And if you talk about it as a product when it's a channel, you'll just confuse your supporters. They'll go somewhere else. So the first element is, what is the core underlying need that my product supports? And for the next 2 hours, this nearly went wrong. Because for the next 2 hours, Paris was simply saying, Daddy, when is 2 o'clock? I want to see the when is 2 o'clock? Because the underlying need of this product is Stephen and Paris having great time together. So zoos, other zoos, aren't competitors. The competitors are the bowling alley or swimming pool. But anyway, it gets to 2 o'clock, we get to the penguins. There's loads of people. Loads of people. Another lady comes up to Paris, not the same lady, says, hello, you're Paris, aren't you? Red dot. How would you like to help us feed the penguins? With that, Paris gets let in, she feeds the penguins. They take a photo of her feeding the penguins. She comes out smelling of rotten fish. But has a great time, and I'm so proud. And at the end of it, they come over to Paris, and these are the tangible elements of the product. They come over to Paris and they say, Paris, because you love that so much, I'm very proud, because you love that so much, we're going to enable you to sponsor that penguin free of charge. And they gave me her picture, and Paris's picture of doing it. We went home. It went on the wall. In the next month, we went back to the zoo 3 times. 3 months later, they sent Paris a letter, direct mail shot, telling Paris that her penguin was doing fantastically well. Oh, and by the way, look at the enclosed, she's had 2 little babies. Guess what we did? We went back to the zoo with Grandma and Granddad, and with Mum. By now, I've bought a family ticket for the year. It's cheaper. This is true. Paris saying, there they are there! These are my penguins! Have you ever looked at penguins? They're all exactly the same. Those are my penguins, Papa. This went on through the course of the next year. At the end of the year, Paris got a letter telling her how fantastic it was that she was so engaged with wildlife, etc., and all about the zoo. She gave even more money herself from her own, my pocket money, to Paris. I got a letter saying, sadly, although this was wonderful, it cannot carry on. Which is why for the next 4 years, Paris and I and her mother sponsored not 1, mummy babies, but 3 penguins at £150 each a year. Now, we kept going back. We took nieces, we took nephews, you're welcome if you want to come. I sat down at the end of 4 years and worked this out. Remember, £10 to go in, £5 for Paris. In that period of time, I spent just over £6,500. Now that's great fundraising. Doesn't cost you anything. So what is the augmented element of the product? The extra bit that you wouldn't have believed as a supporter Not you, the fundraiser. You're not important. The supporter is important. What's the bit that hooks you in and keeps you in that relationship? If you can find that, if it's within your value set, you'll be very successful. Because actually, you have the best potential of any market anywhere in Northwest Europe. Thank you very much.